Hi, Craig C here, coming to you from Boston HQ. Welcome to my first video on this channel. This is a channel for everyday managers where I'm going to help you avoid becoming a chronic boss and instead transform into an effective coaching leader. I believe every leader can avoid the chronic boss syndrome and become the effective coaching leader their team and organization craves. I want to help you avoid the mistakes I made throughout my leadership journey and introduce as many managers as possible to this channel so we can transform together. So what is chronic boss syndrome and why should we escape or avoid it? Well, put simply, it is the everyday management behaviors many folks confront on a daily basis. A chronic boss is everything a team doesn't want or need to help them succeed and perform to their best. There is a lot to unpack here, but this is the core problem a team wants to solve. This chronic boss scenario can replicate and deepen throughout your organization, leading to a shocking zone of negative leadership behaviors. But don't laugh, you may well have become a chronic boss too, like bosses who micromanage, are missing in action, don't listen, rarely follow through, don't provide appropriate feedback, and create more problems than they solve. It becomes a chain reaction, like when a chronic boss manages you, then you unintentionally become one to your team. Let's go back to the source and core of the problem. We can't entirely blame the chronic boss, as managers are often promoted or hired based on tenure, subject matter expertise, role or title-based skills and experience. Furthermore, systems are fundamental to business success, yet very few organizations have active leadership systems in play for their managers. Organizations may provide executive coaching to a few senior leaders or have a leadership workshop here and there, but this is not enough nor sustainable to overcome the chronic boss syndrome. We won't go into too much detail in this video. I just want to give you insight into the areas that you influence and impact. As a manager, you play a pivotal role, a task with a huge amount of responsibility and execution. Your span of influence and involvement is everywhere. You are operating in an active loop of inputs, outputs, process systems and feedback, and responsible for influencing your people, culture and engagement. To be honest, why would anyone take on a management role where you are continually sucker punched and need a high tolerance for stress, ambiguity, failure and conflict resolution, while actively leading and executing for your team and organization? We'll add some everyday practical resiliency techniques to your leadership system that will help both build your tolerance to stress and reduce the negative effects of stress. Things like reframing, finding the gap between the event and your response, negativity bias and behaviors. It's not what happens to you in life, it's how you deal with it. We are also faced with a generational shift of remote workers, and 75% of the workforce being in the millennial or Gen Y and Z cohort, and the influence of AI on roles within organizations. Research indicates that a person's direct manager is 70% more responsible for their day-to-day performance, engagement, commitment, and results than anybody else in the organization. Key point: 95% of employee performance issues that we face are not about the employee. They're primarily about their manager and their leadership behaviors. Think of it like this: a pattern of poor customer service or product experience starts and ends with a manager. In coming videos, we are going to take you through a proven leadership system backed by research and practical application, and equip you with practical tools, techniques, resources, and work on transforming your leadership behaviors to meet the needs of the changing generations in the workforce. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment. Lots of interesting stuff to cover. See you at the next video.